Hi everyone, today we are shooting autumn-winter 2020 makeup looks on our model Pritika in New York's Central Park. So we're super excited. This is the 6th virtual beauty shoot and this is the first time we're going live. So we're all super excited that you're watching today. Now our concept director, Benjamin Kaufmann, is going to explain the concept of the virtual beauty shoot, first of all, if that's okay.
Of course. Hello, everyone. Lovely to have such an amazing team around me. So in a nutshell, what we developed is a concept to shoot in lockdown, basically. So during the pandemic, we had to come up with a good idea. And our basic thought was we need a team because our entire work is based around the creativity of amazing artists. So basically we decided to remote guide a model and a talent basically through the whole process of hair makeup and then even do as much as a shoot remotely basically. So the entire concept is virtual and I think it's not only a lockdown concept, but it's actually a future concept because like today we are shooting in 2 different continents, but no one had to travel, no one had to board a plane. So it's entirely environmentally friendly, which is beautiful. Plus the fact that we actually do empower young up-and-coming talent. I mean, first of all, Pritika, thanks for being such a star. We have already done 2 looks and she is amazing, let me know. And also Carl, who is a good old friend of mine who is based in New York, an amazing photographer. And he is one of the new talents and I'm more than happy to just guide him a little bit and maybe help him along, but he is much better than I am. So there's nothing I could really teach him. Back to Lisa, maybe.
Great, thanks, Ben. So for this shoot, we're going for graphic city looks. So inspiration for us all to get back into our working lives. We've shot 2 looks already, like Ben said. We've already shot the hyper real sort of sculpted skin look. And we've also shot a very beautiful full lip look. And we're about to start a 3rd and final look, which is a really amazing graphic line with a bit of a twist and then a bit of a pop of colour on the lips. But first of all, Nick Tree is our videographer. And Nick, can you just talk about sort of capturing the masterclasses and how you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the masterclasses are always kind of based in the model's home. So we are going over to Pritika's bathroom today and she's set up a pretty basic setup with kind of, we're lucky enough that she's got a ring light around her mirror already. So we're kind of utilizing the light that's in the bathroom. And she's got a phone kind of camera setup that's kind of suctioned onto the mirror so that she can see herself while she kind of goes through the look. Caroline kind of expertly guides her through the look, as well as Lisa kind of coming in with how they want the look to be developed and how it kind of moves forward. And then I just kind of need to capture each section, each step of the process so that all the viewers that we then do the cut down for social can watch back the masterclass of how that look is achieved in a very real but also expertly guided way, which is always quite nice to kind of take control of that a little bit. And it's also great to let the models kind of get their hands on it. And I think you're learning quite a lot, right? You're enjoying it?
Oh, definitely learning a lot. Yeah, I learn a lot every time.
We're all learning a lot. I'm learning stuff every day about how to warm up the product in my hands before I do my morning routine. But yeah, cool. So that's the basic kind of setup. It's a pretty simple setup for the masterclasses, but that's part of the sponsored content that we create with the brands and they provide the product that we can then utilize for each look.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Nick. So let's get on to the 3rd and final look. So Caroline, do you want to talk through what you are going to be directing Pritika to do?
Yeah, so we've had 3 looks, and when you're on a shoot and you decide what you're going to do, you always are considerate to the model's face, and you wouldn't go with the strongest look first, you'd go with the lightest look, and then you'd build up. So we've done skin, we've done lip, and now we're going to go for a graphic eye. So Pritika, you've obviously just come off the penthouse floor of your building. Your skin looks great. I think maybe we'll just start with a little bit of concealer just underneath your eyes, building on what we've got just to brighten and give our eyes a little bit of a base. So just take your concealer for me and just put it just in between the corners of your eyes and just blend the foundation that we had before.
Okay, so am I gonna do it here and then all around, or just?
No, just literally almost just like a half moon. You don't need too much. It's just to kind of just lighten up in between your eyes for me first.
Okay, here.
If you could just say step 1 to the camera for me, that'd be great.
Yeah. So just a little bit of concealer there, and then I usually use my finger to blend it in. Definitely lightens it up too.
Perfect.
Right.
So step 2, I'd love you to take that little brush that we used earlier with your translucent powder on and just sweep that over your eyelids, just so that it absorbs any excess oil. If you're doing an eyeliner look, especially one this graphic, it's really important not to have an eyelid that's too oily, because it really transfers the ink very quickly, and that's the worst thing you can do. Create a beautiful shape, a couple of blinks, and then you've got your mirror image of what you've already created.
Right, here we go. So I've got the translucent powder, and I'm just gonna swipe it over.
And we use translucent powder because we don't want to create any extra pigment. We just want to absorb the natural oils of Pritika's lids. Lovely. Super easy, but a really important step when doing a graphic eyeliner, or any kind of eyeliner, to be fair. Okay, so you're going to be using a liquid eyeliner. So Pritika, what I'd love you to do is just really relax, pop your eyeliner on, really skinny line right on the inside, and build it up to probably about sort of 3 millimeters on the outside. Don't take it too far out on either side. And then we're going to bring the liner in, kind of creating a very kind of inverse socket.
Okay, do you want me to start at like the very corner of my eye?
What you can do is actually lay the eyeliner down across your eye, so you can almost just lay it down and it will create a really nice skinny finish. Whereas if you sometimes go in with a point, sometimes you can place a little bit too much ink there and it tends to create a thicker eyeline.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go in and see. I'm gonna use both my hands.
You might need to
fingers like this.
Like just
I just want to get in there.
Super close. So we'll have to just do this kind of an out. If you can give me an out, is that okay, Pritika?
Oh, what do you mean an out? Like leave out?
No. So you're staying like so that you're comfortable and you can see the actual process, but then just for the ending, so I can capture it at a more kind of distanced angle. If you can just come back and do it straight to the lens.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, we're so lucky to have you doing your makeup like this, because this is not the easiest of looks to do, is it? The other ones have been all right, but I can tell you're an experienced pro, which definitely helps me and my very itchy, sweaty palms in London.
I know, you must be like itching to do the makeup, but yeah, I mean, I think after like 7 years, you know, in this industry, you learn a few things. So.
Yeah, of course.
Caroline, why would you use a liquid liner instead of a kohl? Somebody's just asked that question.
Well, a kohl pencil is great, but it's better to use a liquid because it gives it a very definite shape. So kohls are great if you want to create a nice soft eyeliner that's slightly smudgy and you want to work it in between the lashes, for instance. But when you're doing a really strong shape, the kohl will eventually move. So you can set it with a powder, but the liquid eyeliner will set and the shape won't move. And when you're doing a shape like this, this is much better. Good question.
Caroline, I've had a good question come in from another audience member, Jess. She says, what's the best way to use liquid liner if you have hooded eyes?
If you have hooded eyes, there's two things that you can do. Either you avoid the flick totally and you just create a very small arc on the first 2/3 of your eye, making sure the liquid goes right in between your lashes. You don't take the liquid liner out to where the eye collapses. But if your brow is heavy there, you can also take the line from underneath your lower lash You just need to make sure that when you look straight in the mirror, that the skin on top of your socket doesn't distort the line. And taking it underneath sometimes will give you a nice clean cat eye without that happening. If you take it too high into the eye, you'll get that distortion.
Brilliant, thank you.
Okay. Pritika,
Okay, so I'm getting there.
Great, you are getting there. That's brilliant. Don't take it any further out. That's fantastic.
Okay.
Just maybe just a little bit thicker on the outside. I mean, we've
Yeah,
chosen the
this
hardest one for the live, haven't we?
So are we good with this eye though as far as thickness?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I will work on the other one.
And you know, when you do like a sort of sculpted eye, Pritika, you just kind of bring the shadow in from the outside in. This is you just being totally creative, and that's what I love about makeup, because it can be just so playful. You're going to reverse your action. So rather than taking the liner out, you're going to turn it around and you're going to bring a little bit of the ink in towards your socket.
Got it. Yes. I find that the inner part is the part that you just have to be like super careful and delicate with, especially the liquid eyeliner.
And you have beautiful, enormous minstrel eyes as well. So there's a lot to cover.
Karen, would you not put the liquid eyeliner underneath her eye on the lower lash line for this shot?
No, we're not. We're just working it all from the top, and then we're going to do lots and lots of layers of mascara on top, so it's very top heavy.
Okay, and what shape would that help create?
So this, if you're just putting mascara liner on the top, this gives you ultimate lift. If you use the liner underneath, and sometimes using a liquid eyeliner underneath looks great editorially because it's very strong and striking. But if you don't have a lot of mascara, it can actually make your eye look smaller. If you've got big eyes like Pritika, that's absolutely fine. You can carry that look, but a liquid liner underneath the lower lashes can actually look and come across quite hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Okay, that's perfect. So now the tricky part. So you take the liner back, you take the point, and you just bring a little bit in on either side.
Okay, so you're talking about going it like this?
Yes.
Can we just see the last process? Sorry, guys. Is it all right just to see that last action, just very final? Just give me a final line of that.
Okay.
Thank you. Just straight to this lens if you can. That's it. Perfect.
So if you've got...
Brilliant. Thank you.
And what's lovely about the thickness that Pratika's done her eyeliner in is that you can still see the tips of her lashes. And if that's one tip I can share with you is just notice how long your lashes are. If you take your liner bigger than the tips of your lashes, you actually lose the pretty.
So are we trying to do it? Are we trying to come in like a little bit?
Yes.
Like this?
Yes. Come back into your socket. That's right. Yep. Perfect. Nice. And just a little bit braver. A little bit right up, just more into your socket, into your natural socket, into a little curve. Just
so
up
am
here.
I trying to create a space in between the lines, or is it one?
Yeah, you can create a space, or you can keep it solid.
Okay, so let's just. Okay.
So this is just to add an extra sort of twist to an graphic eyeliner.
It's just about, using liquid eyeliner, you know, as a pen and just being creative. You know, well, we could take it really high into the brow. We could do a line that came right in and really framed her socket. But it's just nice to be just a little bit cheeky with it and just do something different, and not to worry, Pritika, about the perfection of it, because we're not doing an amazing cat eye. We're doing something just a little bit more urban and just a little bit stronger. So that's great. So just do the same on the other side, and then we'll move on to the mascara.
Yeah.
So just sort of take it as a point. That's it, coming up, and then back towards and over your socket. Great. Exactly what you're doing is perfect, and it's brilliant that Pritika is actually pulling her skin there, because that just tightens your skin, helping you get a clean line when you put on your liquid eyeliner.
Yeah, I always found that just it helps to tighten it a bit, especially when you're doing upper eyeliner.
And also a nice long nail as well. That's also helpful, isn't it? Because that can really sharpen the tail of a liquid eyeliner. And and just bring it back over your lid. That's it. Just make it a little bit thicker. Fantastic.
All right, and then I'll just.
Can I just ask which one you're using, Pritika? What is
I'm
that?
using, it's art liner, it's Lancome.
Oh yes, it's a brilliant one.
I feel like I found this one years ago, and then whenever I do a cat eye, this is always my go-to liquid liner. Okay.
So just make it a little bit thicker, bring it back towards your inner corner of your eye.
Right. Okay. Clean that
Great,
up in a
perfect,
minute.
much thicker. See, I just prefer that thicker line because it just looks just a little bit more stronger.
I think it works really well in the pictures as well to be that strong.
Okay.
And I'm going to finish off with 2 or 3 coats of mascara.
All right.
Now, what you've been ultra skillful at is just never bringing your eyelids too high up, so you haven't imprinted the ink on your socket, which is really good.
And this also dries pretty quickly too.
Yeah.
So I've had, in my experience, I've definitely had like gel eyeliner that's done that. You always have to look down. So, okay. Now we're on to mascara.
So I want you to go crazy. I want you to take the mascara wand. I want you to go backwards, forwards, up and down. I want you to get as much product on your lashes as possible. This is not a fluffy, pretty, feminine lash. This is a nice, thick, voluminous lash. What mascara do you like?
This one is Buxom, and one of my makeup artists used this on me, and I die for this brush. It's super cool. I feel like the brand isn't known for its mascara, but it's definitely one of those like hidden gems.
I think it was sold over here, Lisa, wasn't it? I remember having a little bit, but then I think they pulled out of the UK, didn't they?
No.
Let's see here.
Okay. To sort of fan the lashes out so that again it's helping to create that that shaped eye that's sort of pulling out the eye at the edges.
Yes.
Right.
And you can use the tip of the mascara wand. The most important thing is to get the lashes in the middle upright, and then the lashes on the outside winged out to the side of your face.
Right.
It's like blow drying your hair, isn't it? It's just kind of directing the lashes in a certain way, and it makes all the difference. And I love the fact that I can see the tips of your lashes over your liner. Perfect. Okay, other side.
Okay.
Somebody's just asked actually, do you have to leave the first coat to dry first?
No, absolutely not. The opposite. Keep applying the mascara. Any mascara, in my experience, works brilliantly when it layers on itself. Never judge a mascara on a first application because it just needs to kind of unify and build up the layers of pigment or fibers or whatever the form of the mascara is, and that's when you get the magic. If you wait till it's dried, you'll end up with crispy lashes that you can't separate.
Right, okay.
That was great. And then what we'll do, just to finish off, Pritika, is you can just groom your brows for me, and then we'll take a little bit of the foundation over the lips again and just go with that lovely pop of coral on your lip. We're going to keep the under part of your eye really clean, and we're going to do nothing else with your skin, just keep the base as it is. Love that.
Okay, so somebody else just said they've got small eyes. Should they use mascara on their bottom lashes?
Yes, mascara is the one thing. So as I talked about lift, that's great. But if you want to open your eyes, applying mascara on the top and bottom lashes is the best way to open out your eyes. If you find that it transfers, use a tubing mascara.
Okay, so we are done.
Great.
There.
A nice little groom of the brows. I know you've been changing clothes and in the wind.
Yes. Let me get that.
I mean, gone are the days where you could sit in the makeup chair and relax, eh?
I really have a new appreciation for like every single component that of a shoot. But it's great. I think it's good to be self-sufficient in these ways too.
Yeah.
So I definitely wouldn't be able to do it without you.
Have a job.
No, my gosh, never. I think like the simple looks are, it's doable. And you obviously need direction for something like an eye like this. Okay, so I've got the pencil and the gel. What?
Just use the gel. Just use the gel, and I want to kind of just make your brows a little bit bushier. So when you do the ones here, if you just bring them in slightly to each other, so not just up, bring these ones just in slightly for me. Yeah. Nice. Then I can just, that's lovely. Then I can just get to see each individual hair and just nice and lifted and open. Perfect. That's perfect. Thank you.
So you've already structured the brows anyway, haven't you, Caroline?
Yeah, we started really gently, just filling in gaps and kind of elongating Prikita's brows, and we did that using the fibre. Is that the Glossier one? Is that a
this is Milk, actually. I've tried that one. This is the Kush Fibre Brow Gel.
Okay, so this is going to give volume to her brows. It's not just a clear one, so it gives nice depth to her brows without having to use a kohl pencil. And then we went in with a Dior pencil, and we just drew in very, I say we, Prikita drew in very fine hair-like strokes to imitate eyebrows, rather than making a hard, soft, sorry, I want to contradict myself, without creating a hard line across the top of her eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's great. So just a little bit of base, just brought over your lips for me, just to take a little of the pink out so I can get a true colour from the lip bullet. Sometimes if you've got quite pink lips, you've got very pink healthy lips, and you want to achieve the colour from the lipstick bullet, and you're kind of always frustrated that you don't get that colour that you have in the lipstick. It's because your lips are too bright. So a tip to do that is exactly what Prikita's doing now, is just push back that natural healthy lip and then go in with the colour, and you'll get a much truer finish of the colour of lipstick you've bought.
Caroline, we've had another question come in from Hannah. She says, what's the best way and what is the best lips texture to use to make your lips look fuller?
Well, actually, I wish you'd joined us on the other shoot, Hannah, because we did exactly that. We had a really beautiful deep burgundy red, and we basically put a little bit of orange, bright orange, right in the centre of Prikita's lips, her bottom lip. And just by using a lighter shade of the same colour family, you can actually really increase the size of your lips. So that's a really good way of doing it. Adding a little bit of darkness with a darker liner and blending that into your lipstick with a slightly lighter lipstick is another way of doing that too.
Amazing.
Okay, so I have the lipstick.
Great. So what I'd love you to do is just apply it just to your bottom lip, and then I just want to use the soft pad of your ring finger just to blend it into the rest of your lip. I kind of want this to be almost like a stain, just a little bit bitten, so that's perfect. That's enough colour. Rub that in for me, and then just with the pad of your ring finger, just push that in, just that's it, just to bring out the fullness of your top lip. That's lovely. And rub your lips together for me. Don't worry about this now, because we can perfect the shape in a second. It's just really nice just to push the pigment in. And then rub your lips together really well for me 2 or 3 times. Great. And then take the tissue, and as we did before, take the tissue over the top of your lips. Don't bite it, so we make sure that we have an even removal of the product. And then we'll tidy up the shape. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. What about Pritika's skin? Are we doing anything different to her skin from the last look?
So we started by doing a little bit more concealer under the eye, but because this is quite a glamorous look with the lashes, the liner and the lips, Prikita has, with just a little bit of help and perfection, beautiful skin. If I then go in with a highlighter, more powder, more foundation, it then turns very glamorous and it takes the coolness out of it. So I just want to see Prikita's skin looking fresh and flawless with just a little bit of shape and soft contour as we did underneath her cheekbones. That's lovely. Okay. I love that.
Somebody asked you about strobe cream and whether you can use that over an SPF.
Oh, well, yeah, of course you can, but you might find that you get a little bit pink on your cheekbones. No, if you use an SPF 50, of course you can use strobe cream. You'll get more reflection from it, but if you've got an SPF 50, you can absolutely use strobe cream over the top.
Okay.
So perfect, love it. Just Prikita, one thing for me, can you just take a clean finger and just run it underneath your lip line and just over the top? So again, we're just really sure that it's nice and soft. So it's just like a stain. Just take it over your lip line for me.
Yeah.
Just underneath, yeah, just underneath, just to make sure there's no build up. Because sometimes the lipstick can build up on the edge of the lip here, And again, it looks quite sort of made up. I don't want a hard line. Lovely.
Okay, so Caroline, we are putting Pritika into a really beautiful graphic looking dress now. And I know that we can see her neck and a tiny bit of her chest. So do you want to do anything to her skin before we get her changed?
How does your skin feel, Pritika? Is it hydrated? Have you put a little bit of moisturizer on?
Yeah, no, I'm moisturized, and you know it's really sunny out, so I think we're good on that front. It's been a little hot.
Okay,
but,
so maybe you want to just put a little bit of SPF on. Do you want to put a bit of SPF on your chest?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Nikita's very, very lucky. She's genetically blessed because she has the most beautiful, even skin tone. Many of us have like different color faces, necks and chests, but as I see, her skin is absolutely beautiful. So if you want to put a bit of protection on yourself because we're shooting outside and your skin's exposed, then please do that.
Okay, I will do that.
Can I get Lisa and Caroline to comment on the look once finish that? Just flew it like naturally in. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me grab it. I need to step out to get it. Oh, you know what? I have a little something. Okay.
Somebody has literally just said SPF messes with their base, Caroline. Do you have a quick tip for that?
Well, it depends on what is messing with your face. So it may be the alcohol.
With their base or the makeup base, like foundation. So should they put the SPF on first?
So you always put your SPF on before your foundation. And I would advise that you wait sort of 10 to 15 minutes before you put on your moisturizer for your foundation. You might find that your other skincare is actually too heavy if you're using the SPF. So if you're putting a really beautiful serum on, moisturizer, and then an SPF, maybe your skin has just got simply too much product. So you might want to opt for oil-free skincare and then go in for a lighter SPF. All the French brands do beautiful ones, and Goop has a really lovely translucent one, as does Murad Invisiblur, and they are super light and non-greasy on the skin, almost like a gel.
Okay, cool. That's helpful. Thank you.
Will this SPF be part of the one of the steps or no?
I think it depends. For me, yes, always. I always wear SPF. I'm even developing my own SPF so that, you know, I have something that works. Yeah, no, I'm actually, I've been working on my startup for over a year now. And one of our products is an SPF product that works on all skin tones and textures and goes invisible, and it's like all natural. So
brilliant.
That's what I've been using. That's literally what I just put on. But it's definitely, yeah, it's something that I feel like it depends. I've looked for a lot of natural sunscreens out there that like really don't leave like a white cast on my face. And I think like the person that asked about it like always affects how you wear makeup too, because if you have this white cast, like your foundation isn't right. So yeah.
Great. When do you think you'll be able to get that to market, Pritika?
June of next year.
Well, please let us know.
That's so exciting.
Yes. So amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely been my main focus through all this. But yeah, I'll definitely send you guys some.
Thank you. And we all need a focus through this chaos anyway, so that's good. Keeps you busy.
So can you guys comment on the look for me? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think she looks super sophisticated. It's really graphic, but still really fresh. So I think it's a perfect sort of transitional makeup into autumn.
I think so, and I just think it's about, you know, even though it's a glamorous look, the fact that we haven't used any highlighter on her skin, the fact that we haven't gone in with 2 different eyeshadows, we've kind of kept it sort of clean and simple, and that's to me what makes it look modern.
Absolutely.
Great job, darling. Thank you for doing my work for me.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay. Really nice presentation. Okay, so do you want to, can I just see you in that black dress? Let's just come back into camera if you can. I can just look at it one last time, make sure that's the perfect outfit, and then we'll go on set.
Awesome. Okay, I will be
on set.
Amazing.
You did it so brilliantly. That's really hard to do that quickly.
I know, it was really quick. It's a really quick look. But I think it's a really, I mean, that sort of the eyeline and the lip look was sort of all over the catwalks for autumn winter, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
But I think you can make it sort of still quite fresh without looking too done, like you said.
I just think just because you might be going out for a special night, you know, you want to kind of like do as much as you can to make yourself look as good as you can. Just don't end up being a Christmas tree and just going and doing the whole lot. Just kind of take some simple key things, eyeliner, lashes, red lip, and then keep everything else quite simple. Just don't overdo it.
Absolutely, yeah. Nick, did you get everything you needed?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, that's cool. She was great. She was kind of giving everything to the lens at the end. So that's all perfect. That'll work really well. I do need to duck out so that I can capture the file that I've just captured. So I'll leave and rejoin if that's right, just so I can store it on the drive.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, see you in a bit then, Nick.
Sarah, has anyone got any questions for me about being a film director?
Hello. All right, guys, so I've got the dress on. I'm gonna head down then to set.
Great. Damian's waiting for you down there.
Awesome. Yep. Okay.
In his rooftop salon.
Awesome.
See you down there.
Okay, she's gone. Okay, I think it looked really cool though. I like that dress. Ben, did you?
Oh, absolutely. Can't wait to shoot it, despite the fact that I'm not going to, but no, it looks absolutely glamorous. And Caroline, big compliment for your skin. I mean, we've been working together for quite a while now, and your skin has always been immaculate because you can see skin, which for me is kind of crucial to any look, apart from super extreme looks. But for me, skin is the most important part of the face, and it needs to shine through. It can't be sort of covered and pasted in makeup. You can have strong makeup, you can have shading and all of that, but in my opinion, skin tops everything.
Yeah, and photographers know, don't they? So you take the first shot and you're just like, oh no, I can see too much powder, I can see too much pigment, that just has to go off. I learned that very quickly, actually. And, you know, that is the skill. And obviously you're working on models, and not all models have perfect skin by any means. So you have to kind of use a little bit of trickery. We were very lucky with Pritika today. But yeah, thank you. It all came together in the end. I want to show everyone else the other looks as well. I feel like they've just come in at the end of the journey.
Oh, they will be able to see them on Mary Claire's webpage very soon, I guess.
Yeah, next week. Caroline, how do you feel about directing makeup over Zoom and not being there?
My legs are crossed and twisted into like a snake pattern. My hands are clammy. It's, you know, I'm really grateful to be doing this. I think it's brilliant, and I think it's really nice to share it with everybody so that people can tune in and see actually what happens, because, you know, that's doesn't really happen on a shoot normally. Faces on a daily basis. It's a bit boring painting your own face from time, you know, daily. So I prefer to paint other people's faces. But it's worked, and it's great that, you know, Pritika does have a little bit of experience, because otherwise it would take too long. But it just shows you that you can, with everyone joining forces, you can create something special.
Yeah, well, exactly. And it still feels really inspiring, and I feel like it's a really lovely team effort, even though we're
always a team. Every different ingredient is so essential.
What do you think, Ben?
Absolutely. And this morning, I mean, we had quite a long conversation before we actually went into makeup. And it was the typical sort of first half an hour I experience on almost all of my shoots, where you have not necessarily a dispute, but people are sort of coming up with creative ideas, and it's a brainstorm, and it's really sort of, sometimes they're clashing, sometimes they're really complementing each other. And this process, this thought process, makes it sort of more intellectual, and really, it's not foreseeable. You can't predict it that much because of the human interaction, sort of the creative minds clashing a little bit, but in a very positive way. So this is for me the absolute core of any shoot.
Well, we do like to have a bit of a bicker, don't we?
No.
Always. So Ben, how do you think we're going to shoot this one then? I think because we have maybe gone quite pulled out in the last 2 shots? Maybe we go closer in on this one. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think every time you don't have sort of a blocky makeup, but a lot of detail, it is definitely worth getting really close so you can actually see the application, you can see the details and all of that. So definitely. But again, we might actually take 2 shots because I mean, the roof terrace with all these lovely skyscrapers in the sky, that's just unfair because it's night. I think, to be honest, we want to show that as well. And because she's got such a beautiful, lovely dress, we could, or I could imagine sort of even on the Mary Claire page, having 2 pictures, one really, really close up and the other one pulled back so we can see the shape and the dress. And actually what Pritika is amazing at, she can move. So we can show that as well. So maybe we can have both next to each other.
Great idea, actually. And also we can do a GIF as well, can't we?
Absolutely. It's fun and it's great for our social media world because we need something thumb-stopping. So people need to quickly break, look, and then actually have a proper look and enjoy what we do. Because I mean, everything we do is a piece of art. So basically people need to actually calm down again and look at it in detail and really think about what our initial thoughts were, etc., etc. So I think it's important to create sort of eye-catching content to actually focus people more.
Yeah. No, I agree. Actually, Ben, I've just had a question in for you. How do you always feel inspired?
I think this is in my genes, so I can't really help it. So, no, I think the most important part is to create a routine in your life. So wherever you are, just keep your eyes open, look around, and try to reconnect it to your own life, to your own creativity. You don't need to have a creative job in order to do that. So just look at everything you see every day, and there are thousands of things, and just try to reintegrate it. And a creative solution, a cool idea, a bit of humor, someone beautiful, as in a beautiful human being, not just the outside, can always feed back onto your life. And if you sort of train that, you can build up like a sponge memory of beautiful creative moments, and that's kind of coming back to you in the most positive way. So, and that is inspiring in itself when you keep looking for positive things in this world, and you can do it on a daily basis. It doesn't need to be on a specific location. It can be at home, it can be on the street, it can be anywhere. And this is a training process, basically.
Yeah, and experience really helps.
Absolutely. And just enjoying life and really sometimes forcing yourself to have positive thoughts, and when you see something. And I've learned another thing, say something positive when you see something positive. It can be a nice thank you. You can approach someone and say, great look. You can say, I love the way you talk to that person. And that actually helps when you express feelings and when you express it, because it trains your eye and trains your mental state in a way. So you don't think negative anymore.
Yeah,
it takes a while in the beginning to actually approach people and say something nice, despite the fact that you don't know them. But it works.
Yeah. Amazing.
So let's get the next inspiration. I can see Damian setting up.
Okay.
What's your plan for the hair, Lisa and Damian?
Well, so far, Damian started with a bit of a bend in the hair. Damian, can you hear us? Damian's microphone's off. Can you hear us? Do you want to turn your mic on?
We can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
Hi. Yeah, that's cool. Hi. So we started off with that little bit of a bend in her hair. So you cut Pratika's hair on Monday, didn't you?
Yes. So to me, what's really important is not only that I know Pratika's hair really well, having been her hairdresser for several years now, but also within the cut, because I also cut her hair, I know how to work with the softness that I put into it. The softness is one of the most important things in terms of flow on the human body.
Yeah.
So within that, I've used an iron that's 1 inch wide, inch in circumference. Sorry, being on the roof, it's a little. So this is about 1 inch.
Yeah. Okay.
And a very wide tooth comb with a little context to it. Red on red. Tell you what. So you know, you can kind of see that to get that looseness from her hair is also by using the wide tooth comb is so, it just gives it a softer shape. I honestly think that softer lines look better on everybody. So when you can actually create something that is beautiful, the lines are very long, the lines are very sleek, and you've got bone structure like Pritika's, you literally can't go wrong.
Okay, cool. So first of all, so you bent her hair for the first look. For the second look, we went for sort of a bigger hair with more volume with a side parting.
Right. So,
yeah.
So with this is, with how I curl hair, you actually clip it and you actually keep it until it's cool. And then you can use a blow dryer to soften the lines.
Okay.
When you've got a hold that strong, you can push it around for the whole day and it'll still stay. So to me, that's more a matter of being really good about your sectioning, taking very like 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch sections. And if you want to be a little looser, you can take 1 inch section. Doing it, wrapping the hair like a candlestick method so that it's got that long shape. And when you're building those curls out, pushing it to the side, you get that big build that we get because we've started with the center part.
Okay, cool. So what should we do with this look?
Well, I have yet to see her. Let me see here. Let's see. Ah, okay. I'm gonna bring Pritika into the mix. Hey, I think we're backlit. So
There she is.
There we go. That's better.
Okay, cool.
Oh, we're both here.
Lovely. So, Ben, where were you thinking to shoot this?
So I'm half thinking about pulling it back because I think the shape of the dress, getting a little bit of neck in that will be a really beautiful silhouette. And the hair and silhouette to me are just really, really important because when you've got a shape along the body, the hair up, it brings out the jawline, it brings out the cheekbones, and a little pitch. I have the only professional hairpins in the United States right now, so that I know I can put her hair up with a couple of pins and it'll just stay.
Yeah,
that's not common here.
Brilliant. So I would say you go for it. And in the meantime, Carl, we can quickly discuss where you're going to shoot her. And earlier I saw this sort of slightly lifted ventilation box. And I think this could be amazing to give Pritika a lovely stage so she can actually move. And we still have sort of the beautiful skyscrapers in the background, a bit of blue sky. And as a second look, I would suggest to find a more stable place. So basically sitting her down, because I would like to ask you to get really, really close so we can see all the detail around, almost like popping into her face. So it's proper, beautiful beauty shot with lovely angles.
Yeah, cool. Damian. Hey, Damian.
We're back. Yes, my dear.
Can you hear me? Okay, I was wondering, are you thinking about putting a parting in her hair? Or are you going to do it straight back?
So same consistency.
Your mic's off again.
On mute.
Damian, your phone is on mute.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I think you can hear me now.
Oh, you're somewhere else. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Using Carl's phone or Pritika's phone. Anyway, so I think if we keep that center part, we'll still have a vibe of what we were doing before and be able to evolve that look. And once we put it up, it'll really work with the silhouette and also the texture of the dress.
Yeah, perfect. That's what I thought. Sounds good.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to give this to Carl.
Cool. Thank you.
Carl, can you understand me?
Oh, hold on. Carl's on the other phone.
Maybe ask him if he can understand me, because I want to quickly record a location with him.
Hey, Ben, I'm unmuted.
Oh, fantastic. Let's just walk around and find a lovely place for her.
Sounds good.
You remember where on the first look she was standing up on that ventilation thing behind there? I think this was an amazing location.
Switch around so we're not. So tricky up here. Yeah.
Turn a bit to your right. So if you turn all the way around. Yeah, and just keep walking a little bit down there. And do you mind turning to your right?
Okay.
A bit more. Yeah. I mean, that's a great view. If you turn to your left, please. Keep going. And walk all the way to the corner, please. Yeah, I think this is an ideal spot. Obviously, she can't stand on there, but she could lean against the wall,
okay,
which gives you a lovely perspective and also gives you plenty of possibilities with lovely graphic shades, etc., in the background, and obviously the famous building on the right-hand side of your frame.
Perfect.
That's cool. And for the close-up shot, what I would recommend, give her a position where she's really stable, because otherwise it's super tricky to find the right angle, and then it's easier to put a face in a direction where the light really hits the face well. So basically, all the reflection on the cheekbones and the lips and the eyes, and then you move with your camera around. So it's basically keeping her still and you move around, which gives you the best possibility of finding the perfect spot where you can really see the liner.
Sounds good.
Brilliant.
Ben, do you want to do a GIF with this look? Do you think she can do something with her eyes or?
Yes, absolutely. We can try it. I mean, let me quickly explain what a GIF is, otherwise it might be confusing. Yeah. So basically what we're talking about are still images where only one part moves. So if you imagine a portrait and just the hair is moving, nothing else. Why do we do that? As mentioned earlier, we need a thumb-stopping imagery, basically, where something quite unusual happens. Depending on the hairstyle, we can use hair, but if the hair is up, obviously it can't move. So it can be either part of the styling, it can be a hand movement, it can be sort of a wink of an eye, it can be a laugh. So we have various possibilities, but I think we start with still pictures and then develop an idea.
Yeah, okay. So what time is it in New York now? I'm just thinking about the light.
It's 3:30.
2:30. Okay, so 3:30. So we're okay with the sunlight now, Ben, aren't we?
At 2 o'clock, the sun is quite harsh, so we have two possibilities. Either we find a really, really good angle, and from experience, I know that Pritika is amazing in opening the eyes, even if it means looking into the sun. She has done that for me, poor girl. And the second option is we can create a shadow, which also is fantastic because Carl has reflectors, so we can use them to shade the light completely or partially, so we can create a really graphic and strong image. And this is how I would actually start the shot, basically using a reflector, creating a shadow on top of Pritika's face. And this has two effects. Number one, which doesn't kill her eyes. Number two, you can really sort of make colors pop even more.
Yeah.
Because for funny reason, colors pop a lot more if you're in the shade than in strong sun. And Caroline will possibly like us for that because obviously the skin looks much, much fresher and better. Do you agree?
Absolutely. You know, I love a little bit of cloud. Anything that's nice and soft, any harsh light is just really quite hard to make beautiful. Sometimes it works if you're going for something quite angular, but most of us love an early morning or a late evening light or a very cloudy day.
Although it might be nice just to get a really amazing, like you said, an amazing shadow on her face, just so that we can sort of use that as the key image, because it's all about being graphic, and with that graphic architecture, I think that could look really cool.
And it's just where that shadow falls on the face. I mean, it could fall, you know, on that part of the face, and then this part of the face is really lit and looks really vibrant. So that's a lovely juxtaposition of light and shade, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But again, for the audience, it might be quite interesting to consider looking at light situations, because also when you go to an event, when you go somewhere meeting people, you can choose a spot that is actually lit better than other spots. And if you talk to celebrities and if you talk to big influencers, they know exactly where to place themselves in a large room. And they always go for spots where the light is beautiful and soft on them. So when people look at them, even from a distance, they always have that glow around them, and they never ever look tired or sort of, I don't know, in a bad light, basically. So if you walk into a room, if you walk into any situation on the street, just keep a look around and sort of look at people and what a reflective wall sort of makes a difference, how a shadow changes your light, etc., etc., and just watch and learn, and that makes a huge difference. And also when you go out to a party, I mean, you put a lot of effort into your makeup, into your styling. Just make sure you don't kill it with the wrong light. So just get the nice corner.
Yeah, or go around with a head torch. But I think people are more aware of it since obviously taking so many pictures of themselves on their phone and looking at their phone, the reflection in the phone, the image in the phone, and doing like a 360 turn. You know, I'm definitely guilty of doing that myself. Or which better? Oh, right there, looks so much better. The light is everything, and I don't think people were really aware of that before.
So, Damian, how far are you? Looks pretty cool to me.
Yeah, it looks lovely. I hope the mask is going to be okay on her face now with the makeup.
We might need to redo the lippy, but I'm sure, I mean, she's such a pro, I'm sure she'd have just taken it a little bit far forward so it didn't touch or smudge.
Safety first.
Okay, I love her layers. Damian, you did such a great job of her cut. It looks so nice. It's so flattering. It's the perfect length layer. Okay, cool.
So, ready to shoot? Actually, Pritika, where you just stood, that was actually quite a good spot shooting down that street. If you keep turning a little bit, we just had a really beautiful angle. Yeah, that's about it. If you can ask Carl to stand almost literally in front of you and shoot down that angle, the light is beautiful and everything. So this could be a very first shot, basically. Is the sunlight bearable for you? So can you open your eyes in that direction, or does it hurt?
Hi, darling. Yeah.
I mean, some pulled back shots would be great for this look as well.
I think I would like to do the pulled back ones when she's standing on that ventilation thing, just because then we have got that lifted position, almost like a stage.
Yeah, sure.
So Carl, please try to get as close as possible. And Pritika, we have got amazing sleeves, so you can use them. So you can literally get your arms up. You can lean to one side. You can use the wall as a prop. That's amazing.
Are we going for the close-up ones first? Or do you just want
the close ones whilst the makeup is still fresh and perfect? And Carl, you can be really, really brave. So get really close in, and you can crop into the face. You can have half an eye maybe or something like that. So really unusual angles. Yeah, yeah.
Can I just see really close up, please? Can somebody just put their phone close up to Pritika's face? Where's Damian? Is Damian there?
I can see the shadow, so he's working.
I just want to see that we can just see that eye makeup really well. Thank you. Yeah, lovely. I mean, a lovely 3/4 shot would be great so that you can really see that liner.
Yeah, looking away from camera is also fantastic. Okay, let's leave Carl to work a little bit, but all those sort of angles, 3/4 profile, and the main focus is the line. And you're more than welcome to crop into the lip. You can sort of play around with angles from really low or from even higher up. So that's cool. I have to admit, looking at this weather, I'm actually thinking I would love to be there.
Ben, it would be really nice to get some shots with her arms like this again in front of her face, like the shot that was on the mood board, just to make it look really graphic.
Yeah, like kind of framing her face properly.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know whether you can use some of the shadow then on her face too, just sort of really bring out that eye.
Okay, let's set this up. Carl, what you can try to do is you can create a harsh, hard shadow that goes kind of through her face. So it's really like a statement, and it could go along sort of the jawbone line or the cheek line. So it's really sort of a proper statement. So the shadow can be quite intense, sharp, and really sort of, yeah, quite visible. So it's really a statement. And we can create a shadow also with her sleeves. So just having one sleeve slide in front of her face between the sun and her face. So we create that really harsh shadow. You probably need to turn Pritika to the other side so we can get the direct sunlight into her face.
Yeah, nice.
And Pritika, you need to use your sleeve, the big sleeves, in order to create proper shadows on top of your face. Yeah, that's great.
You can use both arms, Pritika.
Yeah, really close, framing your face, and ideally we won't see that much of the background, but really sleeves and get really, really close there.
Yeah, I think let's get this shot first, and we can always turn this from black and white as well so that it's really graphic.
Absolutely.
I think that would be really cool, black and white, even if it's just one of them.
I mean, I love harsh light and black and white because it really, really works well together.
Exactly. I think that'd be really nice. I mean, maybe the pulled back one can be black and white as well, just sort of balance the story.
So let's see. That's a good idea, Carl.
It's a great spot, Ben.
I love the terrace. Yeah, look at that light.
Yeah.
So now we just need to really frame your face. Maybe take, if possible with this dress, take both arms up and really frame them around your face.
With both arms, that's right.
Yeah, that's cool.
I quite like the more sort of fashiony look with this as opposed to guarding herself from the sun, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, now we're getting there.
Yeah. Caroline, this liner won't budge, will it? Mike? Your mic.
Exactly, you're totally right. That's the thing, when you're using a kohl or a gel, you know, if you get a little bit sweaty, you might have something that's going to smudge, but once a liquid liner is set, it's set. So I feel at least a little bit more confident in that, but I'm still just like sweating. I hope everything's fine, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm sure the final shot will be amazing. So can't do any more than that, right? And Damian's on my side. He's watching out for me.
Yeah, I mean, you can check the makeup at any time if you feel like she might have touched her face.
And I'm sure Carl will see, you know, through the lens, just naturally, you know, when something's not looking right on the face. So I'm sure he'll alert us.
Yeah.
So I can't see anything. Okay, now we. What's happening?
They've all gone dark on us.
I mean,
Oh,
you have
no.
gone dark. I can't see anything anymore. Sorry.
How frustrating for you, Ben. I mean, God.
Oh, the good news is I trust Carl entirely, so that's fine.
There he is.
Yeah, almost.
Oh, I want to see something.
I was just about to say.
I'm sure they've got some great stuff.
I've got a question, Damien. Would you be able to help Carl and create the shadow so it's not Pritika's hand, but maybe one of the reflectors creating the shadow?
Yeah, perfect.
This could be stronger and more abstract. So it's literally, you can use something with a hard edge, so either the reflector or a board or something like that. So we really have that graphic shadow without Pritika's hand in shot. Oh, that's unfair.
Have we had any more questions, Sarah?
I'm just going to check back on Caroline's live, see if she's had any come through. I've had another makeup question for you, Caroline. From Danielle, she says, what tones and textures of sculpting powders should you use for different skin tones and types?
Well, luckily, Pritika actually had the Tom Ford double cream and highlighter. But you know what? You don't even have to use anything that is specifically for contouring. You can just use a darker foundation. So whatever shade of skin you have, just go 2 or 3 shades darker or 2 or 3 shades lighter for the concealer to brighten this panel, and then 2 or 3 shades darker under there. The benefit of using a really good contour is that it should be a little bit cooler in tone. So it's almost mimicking a natural shadow that you might have under your jaw or you might have under your cheekbone. So it's mimicking what your face does naturally if you have that kind of light and shade in it. I can go through some brands if you'd like to know that. Or
yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Kevin Aquan does really lovely contour powder. Fenty Beauty has a beautiful, the matchsticks, there's really nice contour cream in that. I much prefer contouring in creams. That's why I tend to use sometimes a concealer if I'm working, and just add a little bit of grey into it, just at the bottom of the contour. And also a brand called Rhodial.
Sorry, is that because powder doesn't stay as long, or?
I just feel that when you are shaping the skin, it has to look really beautiful and natural in daylight. And it's all very well doing great contour makeup under a massive ring light inside. Well, that's going to look great, isn't it? But you don't want to look like a caricature of yourself when someone sees you face to face. So for me, I'm always doing someone's makeup as if I was to see them in daylight, because that just makes it look as natural and as in tune with your own beauty as possible. But that's just my aesthetic. Other people would think very differently.
And is it always matte, or is it always, or would you ever?
Yes, the shadow is always matte. A highlighter can be sparkly or oily or glossy because it's catching the light, but the shadows are underneath.
Mm-hmm.
That's why to use a bronze, some people make the mistake of using a bronzer that's got a slight bit of shimmer in it as a contour, and that's when it just completely, it just doesn't do what you want it to do. It just ends up like a dirty stripe on the side of your face or on your forehead.
Yeah. Okay, cool. How are we getting on with the shoot?
I think they are just fiddling around with the shadows, which is always a tricky business. But maybe, Caroline, I can ask you a makeup question, because I also do a lot of portraits, and there's quite often the question, what can someone like a business lady do in order just to enhance the look a little bit without exaggerating it or without actually showing the makeup? So what are the tricks of the trade to get a really glowing skin and a beautiful appearance with sort of daylight, but without necessarily showing makeup?
Well, it's pretty much what we would do on a red carpet, for instance, if you're working on an actress who wants to look her best, the best of who she is, not a character. And it's all about having enough hydration in the skin and using primers to kind of balance your skin type. So if you've got open pores, you'd use a very soft silicone primer. If you've got dry skin, you'd have a product that would actually highlight and radiate your skin, and making sure you've got enough hydration in your skin, so when you do put a little bit of corrective foundation on, it doesn't look like a layer on top. After that, it's about structure. So it's about really filling in your brows in a very light but natural way that frames your eyes, and using a little bit of cheeky liner. It's called tight lining. So basically the tight lining means that you're adding lots of ink and pigment in between your lashes. So that actually when you look towards camera, you have kind of like a strong line on top, but it doesn't overpower your eye, and lots and lots of mascara. But you have to take everyone's own beauty into account, and not everyone wants to look the same. So for instance, obviously I've known Lisa for years and years, and she loves to wear makeup. but she wears just the lightest, delicate touches and tones that make a complete difference to her face. But to the untrained eye, you wouldn't really see it. So it's about kind of making sure that you're true. Huh?
You can tell that I'm wearing makeup.
Well, you know, when you've put it on, but you do it in such a natural way. I mean, obviously, you know, maybe you haven't done it for the last 6 months in lockdown, but you don't need to. But what I'm saying is it's just kind of going, right, you know, not one size fits all, but structure in your face is the most important thing. And after that, you can decorate your cheeks, lids and lips with all different colours. You wanted a quick answer to that, didn't you? And here I am banging on.
No worries, no worries. Okay, Damian or Carl, whoever hears me, I'm curious. Can we actually see a couple of pictures on the back of the camera, please? Hello, where are you guys? Don't leave us in the dark. Ah, now we're talking.
Oh, here we go. Let's have a look. Oh, wow.
Love
Really
that strong look.
So lovely. I love that backdrop as well, Ben.
Yeah, it's still city, but soft. It's a bit Hans Führer, so it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, really nice, Carl.
I love this light because it kind of takes the skin a little bit away and focusing really on the line. So the line is the main hero.
Yeah. What do you think, Caroline? Can you see properly?
I think the shadow makes it really strong. Because also when you're working in such bright light, you can bleach everything out, can't you? And you don't get any detail, but that makes it, those shadows across the face make it really strong. Love it. And the makeup's reading in the perfect balance, enough on the eyes, but that richness and berryness to the lip is making you very happy.
Brilliant.
It's lovely. I really like the tight crop as well, Carl.
Yeah.
Maybe if you try some stronger, more graphic shadow, Ben, with something other than a hand. Have they done that yet?
Guys, have you done the graphic shadow with sort of a reflector or something like that? Just to have a look at those pictures.
Really nice. Really, really beautiful. Well done, guys.
Like a dark picture.
Bit too much shadow there.
A little bit. It's called torture.
Okay.
But generally speaking, what I have seen so far looks absolutely stunning. And I would actually suggest to move on to the pulled out shot where we can actually see the dress and put Pritika onto that elevated area.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that and maybe turn that into the GIF. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So are they coming back?
Hello. Oh, they're both muted.
So then let's think about another question we can answer.
I'm just looking at them now. Are they coming back on? They're just still doing the shadows at the moment. So.
Oh yeah, I can see it here. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I really like these sort of graphic, non-human made shadows.
Yeah, that's really cool. They've got like a really sort of graphic cross on her.
If you can hear me, would you mind asking Pritika to put both her hands up and really sort of maybe one arm on top of her head and the other one quite close to one side, so it's literally covering the face and framing it.
I've got a question. So, Lisa, how do you come up with your concepts for these stories?
I think it's intuition really to what I think people might be looking for. So after a time like we've had over the last 4 months, I think we need a bit more like glamour, a bit more self-expression, a bit more playfulness. And so we've sort of included, we've made sure that these looks have that playfulness, don't you think, Caroline?
Yeah, absolutely.
I
The
mean,
thing is, it's just kind of just grabbing those basics and just kind of amplifying them a little bit and just being a bit braver.
yeah, I mean, we were talking about catwalk looks earlier, and catwalk, I mean, we talk about everything on the runway now, and it is all about being unique.
That was the first time I ever did that. That was the first time I ever lifted a chair to get a shadow.
Oh, yeah. Just look at that shadow. Sorry for interrupting.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really cool. Amazing.
Wow, love it. Woohoo!
Lovely. Well done, Pritika. Looks great.
Bieniek, this is how easily we can be distracted by beautiful images.
And how happy it still makes us. I always said to myself, once I stop looking at a monitor and getting excited, then I've got to retire. But I still get excited.
Sorry, Caroline, no time to retire today. Carl, can I ask you to shoot on a slight wide angle lens and put Pritika on that elevated area behind her where she was earlier, and shoot against sort of the high-rise buildings and the sky, and just literally pull back and show the whole dress, and sort of, I think you could even do a full length if you wanted.
Okay, that sounds good. Give us a second to set that up.
I mean,
half a second.
It would look really cool with black and white then, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It could be a lovely juxtaposition of having one black and white and the other one color. So basically those are color. Exactly. And the other one is a very, very classic Helmut Newton shot in New York, on the roof, in that light.
It's so cool. I love the shoot.
Yeah, we're just missing the bunny ears.
Yeah. Hello, they love it. Woohoo!
Right, here we go. Going up. Here we go.
And let's get up there.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to want to clean you up a little bit.
Oh no, come back.
Are you watching on YouTube, guys?
Yes, I have Caroline's live feed here, and it looks pretty cool. That's also something that shows you how good people are, or artists are. They're constantly working on details, like Damian, he's constantly fixing details of the hair, and Caroline is always looking at details on the makeup, on the skin, and that's basically work in progress. It's never ever the one look and that's it, and you just shoot it. Even whilst I'm shooting, it's always that sort of jumping in and just making it better and just improving it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Damian, don't you dare to put the camera away. I want to see that. And basically, Damian, if you ask Carl to also take a couple of shots from your perspective, that's absolutely gorgeous with the light coming in and that direction.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh.
It went black. Doesn't want to listen to me. Okay, fair enough. Oh no, here we are.
So who was the dress by? Arrow.
Arrow, yes. I think they're all from the same designer.
That's great.
I love the first dress as well, but I think we definitely make the dress for last.
Yeah, definitely.
Carl, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you come to where Damian is standing? That angle is absolutely gorgeous in terms of light and everything. And Damian, stay right behind Carl. Yeah. Sneak up to him. That's great. So we can see what he's doing. Brilliant. God, how lucky are we with the weather?
Ben and Lisa, I have a question for you both. When you're going through like the editing process of all the photos post-shoot, what kind of makes you select an image? Is it more instinctive, or is it certain like boxes that it has to pick? Obviously, Carl takes so many pictures, and then how do you edit it down to those like 3 that we then put on the site?
Well, Ben does the first edit, which I'm really grateful for. A big edit, and then the pictures, yeah, come to me, and we often think of the same image, don't we, Ben?
Absolutely. I think you can split it in 2 parts. Number 1, you mainly deselect everything that's not suitable, and suitable means either technically not all right or whatever, if you don't fulfill the brief. So let's say we shoot lipsticks and you can't or hardly can see the lips. Unfortunately, even if it's a great shot for this specific purpose, you can't use it. So this one doesn't make it into the final edit. And then I think the second part is intuitive, and I think it's all about sort of building a storyline and sort of putting pictures together that actually tell a story. And this is based on experience, on knowledge, because we all know thousands of images, paintings, pieces of art. You always want to have a reference to something. So it's a composition basically, where you have to tick off a couple of boxes, but also your gut feeling tells you that's the shot.
Yeah.
And what happens quite often is you look at a final selection of maybe 12 images of a certain look, and everyone points at one picture and immediately says that's it. So I think that's almost like a common ground on that.
It's quite nice when you're working on set together and you've got the computer screen and we're all going through them as a team together, because Caroline, you know, is brilliant at choosing pictures, and it's really nice when we're working together as editing. So that, I feel like we are missing that a little bit shooting virtually, but
yeah. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of shooting on film, because I mean, shooting on film, I'm the only one having the right to say, okay, we've got it, because no one sees a single shot. So I do quite like that.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. Go away with the Polaroids. So.
Well, there's 2 minutes just waiting for the Polaroids to develop. The kind of like awkward conversations you'd have just to fill up those 2 minutes with the Polaroid, and then the photographer struggling to try and get the Polaroid shot again that the client loves and never actually managing it.
Never ever happens.
Exactly. Yeah, but
do you feel confident, Ben, that they've got it?
Yeah, but I kind of enjoy watching, so so I don't want to really stop them now, because they have really good ideas, and you can tell they've got a good chemistry, because they always come up with new angles, new ideas. And I have learned one thing: never ever be happy with just a pretty image. Just fight until you get something really special, even if it hurts a bit.
That was bad to say.
Yeah, I'm German, sorry. No, but I had one occasion where we were shooting on a beach with a horse, and we did an amazing, beautiful sort of horse riding shot. And the stylist kept pushing me until I actually got the best picture of my career. So it was different and special, and not because we were happy with just a nice picture. So
hey guys.
Yeah, we're looking.
Oh,
can't see the screen.
Here we go. Hold on. Where'd it go? There we go. Yeah.
I mean, this would be great opposite a close-up shot, Ben.
I absolutely
it's amazing.
love it.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love it, Carl.
Great.
And it's so great seeing the
Oh, wow.
skyline. These are cool too.
Love it, love it, love it.
You great plastic shapes, brilliant.
So cool.
Wow.
Amazing. I love those.
The only thing, honestly, I'm not really seeing is a GIF on those ones. I think there's nothing really that moves.
We got into with a little.
I personally would recommend not to do a GIF on this one, but maybe have 2 or 3 shots and just make it into almost a contact sheet.
Yeah, cool.
But I think if we're trying to do a GIF on these ones, it'll be forced a little bit. And we've got a beautiful GIF earlier with the wind and the sleeves. So I would recommend not to do it, but potentially use the time for a couple of questions to Pritika maybe and join her in the living room.
Okay, thank you guys. What do you want to, yeah. Wrap?
Thanks, Carl.
Gee, they don't want to stop now. Let's just ask Pritika if she's fine with that. Obviously, Carl, would you mind passing on the phone to Pritika or Damian? So,
Just getting off the roof.
careful.
Well done.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Super stuff.
Great, Carl.
Carl, really well done. Damian, we love your hair. Pritika, would it be possible to join you for another 5 minutes on Zoom in the living room to ask a couple of questions?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Head on up and then we'll do that.
Thank you.
Do you want to go inside now, Ben? Or do you want to just do it here?
Well, we can stay here if you don't mind, because I think the sound quality is good enough.
Yeah. So we were just going to ask you a few questions, Pritika, if that's okay.
Oh, wait, am I leaving to go upstairs right now? I can't hear you.
Oh, she can't hear us there.
Okay, yeah, in this case, if you don't mind going back to your living room, then we have a good sound quality and can have a little mini interview with you.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll go right up. I'll see you
Brilliant.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. That was so cool. Pictures look great.
Well, that was a successful day in the office.
Great. So thank you so much, Damian. Thank you.
Thanks, Damian.
Bye, Damian. Thanks for your help.
Fantastic. So, Lisa, are you happy with what you have seen so far?
Yeah, I love them. I mean, Pratika's amazing. She's a brilliant model. And the whole team's been absolutely fantastic.
What an amazing day.
Yeah, David, so great. Thank you so much. Her hair is...
Fix my hair for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carl. Thank you for the looks.
Oh, I can hear you. Lisa, Sarah, thank you so much. What a really incredible day.
Oh, thank you, Damian.
Yeah, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
guys. Bless you.
And this guy.
He's amazing.
Yeah, man.
And so quick as well. So quick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's not that bad.
The virtual shoots go really quickly, I find. It's quite strange. What time is it now? Yeah, I mean, we have been going for 7 hours, haven't we? Longer than that.
Quick isn't the word I'd use, Lee. Sorry. I don't know what time scale you're on.
Lisa,
I had a dinner at 7:30.
Oh.
Well,
Lisa, how would you describe?
All right. We're just ready for our siesta here.
what's that, Ben?
Yeah.
How would you describe a good model in terms of your editorial point of view?
I just think they need to be, well, I just think the good models that I've worked with are just really easy to work with. and they know a lot about makeup application, how makeup looks on them. They know about light, they know about how to position themselves well, and they just have like a natural sort of, I don't know, a natural move about a good personality.
Yeah, I do agree, and I think it's more and more important to have models who are also having their own projects, basically. So it's not just a pretty face, but they have a story to tell. They can sort of talk to people and really, really interact and communicate, which is in these days probably the most important part for me. Because I mean, to be pretty is one thing, but to have to say something and really be out there is becoming so much more important, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be a team player as well, you know, you don't just come in and it's, you know, it's about everybody, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And being aware of how clothes look, how, you know, how it works on camera, and just being sort of present, because I think a lot of girls that have been incredible are just very aware of what's going on, and the girls that aren't so successful just literally are in their own little bubble. And I just think you have to really open your eyes and engage with everyone.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point you're making. And also you can work on yourself, as in basic things like work on your movement skills, on your facial expressions and all of that, but also work on your social skills, because as you rightly said, I mean, it's a teamwork, and the more you understand of each other, and Lisa, what you said, that models also have to understand lighting and positions and photography. And I think that makes it actually more interesting, because all of a sudden it's a whole package and a whole world you learn about. And someone like Pritika, she really knows a lot about a lot of things. And it's a lot easier to explain something. And this is probably the secret of a successful model.
Just diversifying and just having lots of fingers and lots of pies, isn't it? Which is kind of how we all have to be these days. One job simply isn't enough. We have to be having lots of projects on the go, don't we?
Makes it more interesting.
Keeps you on your toes.
Right.
So let's hope she's coming back soon. Sarah, do we have any questions prepared for Pritika, or did people ask specific questions?
We have got some, haven't we?
Yeah. Got about 4 questions for her.
Oh, fantastic.
Caroline, I know you've got dinner now. 2 hours ago.
I said, just order me a pudding, maybe. I might not get the main and starter.
Ben, is Caroline allowed to go?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. Well, actually, if I could, I would love to stay. I could just sit on here and just get a glass of wine, quite frankly, and have my dinner here, get a takeout, and just have dinner with you guys. But I would love to go and join everyone. It's my friend's birthday, actually, so I'd love to scoot off.
Come on, off you go.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Lovely to meet you, Damian. Lovely to see you again, Nick.
See you soon.
Take
Bye,
care.
Carl.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everyone. Please say my goodbyes to Pritika. I'll give her a message.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Bye,
Caroline.
well done.
Bye. Bye.
Hey there.
Have we gone? There we go. Yeah, so we've got some questions. We've got some questions for Pritika. Are we still on Caroline's?
Yes, we are.
We are?